Okay, recording. Welcome everybody to our new training program, the Rockstar Academy. So there's 4 of us who've decided to start training, and every second Tuesday of each month we want to do a training to hopefully provide you inspiration and new ideas that you can implement into your business and help you grow as much as you want to do. So today we're kicking off with utilising social media to increase your sales and your commission check. So if in the chat box you guys could use and just give us any kind of places that you feel that you struggle with social media, in particular if there's any specifics, for example, if it's building followers, if it's knowing what to post, anything like that. If you could just use a chat box and give us kind of an idea of what it is that you feel that you need to work on mostly with your social media just to get us started. That would be fab. And hopefully tonight, between the 4 of us, we will have it covered. Look. Followers, interaction. Yeah, interactions are always a big one. No, okay, fab. Worrying about being salesy. That's really great. A lot of people saying we struggle with Instagram. Hopefully we'll help you with that tonight too. Being seen, interaction, so getting in people's feed, etc. Okay, cool. Right, well hopefully we're all 4 of us, so me, Carla, Ashley and Lisa are all going to give you our different takes on how we in our businesses using social media, how we gain our sales and how we obviously increase our business and build up our followers, etc. So you'll get a different perspective. Some of the stuff we might say might be similar because we might do similar things, but some of it might be completely different and like polar opposites. It's just everybody has different ways of working, everybody has different things that work for them, and it's just finding those things that like trigger in your mind, that inspire you, make you want to work, and that you go ahead and implement into your business. So I'm going to start with what my biggest tip that I've only just sat and thought about it, that when we went into lockdown and a lot of my business was social media anyway, I decided that I really wanted to get annual sales. So it was a similar time, we went into lockdown and I'd never hit annual sales before, and I decided that I really wanted to push for it. I really wanted to achieve it. So what I did at the beginning of the month of May, I broke down. I knew to get annual sales, I knew I had a goal. So I knew my goal needed to be at least 2,500 PRV each month. So what I did was I divided that by the days and how many days in the month there was. And I made that my target to sell that much each day. I broke my target down. So I knew that 2,500 I needed, in a 31-day month, I needed 80 PRV a day. And then I knew, so for example, if you want 500 PRV, you need 17 PRV a day. That's literally like 3 bars of wax. If you want 2,000 PRV, and everybody wants that 2,000 because you get that 5% bonus, which is such a huge chunk to your commission check, 65 PRV a day. It's so much more doable when you break it up into little chunks. And what that did, when I did that, when I broke it up and knew what I needed to work on each day, that made me so much more intentional. Every single day, I was so much more focused and rather than just sharing something for the sake of saying, yeah, I've posted on my group, every day I had the focus that I wanted to sell, I needed to sell, and that I wanted to make sure I hit my target for that day. Some days I wouldn't hit it, some days I'd do more. It kind of leveled itself out. But if I could see there was a gap, I would think, right, what do I need to do? If I was lagging behind and I thought, right, I've got a gap, I need to fill that gap, what do I need to do? Then I would put something in place. For example, I would put some bundles together, or I would do a special personal offer or something like that to fill that gap that I needed to do. But I track my PRV each day, and then I know where I'm at and what I need to do. And it has been an absolute like game changer for my PRV. Where I used to struggle, it was a real push for me for getting 2,000 PRV. I was nowhere near annual sales. Now I'm really comfortably, because I've just changed how I work my business and I've implemented it consistently, I really comfortably reach my 2,500 each month. and it's just been a massive game changer. I think it was that flip, that switch in my mindset. It made such a huge difference. And that is my biggest tip. Get your goal, break it down by the month, your PRV goal, break it down by how many days in the month, and then literally just each day have a focus. Okay, so that's my biggest tip, but there's a couple more. So obviously on social media, your goal is making consistent connections with people. You are wanting to be engaged with people, you're building relationships with people, making those consistent connections. So it's really important to do that. You can't talk to everybody, because not everybody is going to be right for you, and not everyone's going to be the right customer for you. Not everybody's, and you're not going to be right for them. So it's really important that you have an idea of who you're actually talking to. When you write your posts, have an idea in mind of who your target audience is. If you try and write to everybody, you're actually writing to nobody, because nobody's going to connect with it. Nobody's going to think. So if you just saw wow, look at this warmer, it's for everybody, but no one's going to connect with that. No one's going to think, that, yeah, of course that's for me. You need to connect with those people. You need to actually make a connection with the people who are right for your business. So think about stuff that you're interested in. Decide on 3 things. It's an ongoing thing that we talk about. Choose 3 things that you're interested in and target your posts. So for example, if you're a mummy, or if you're into going to the gym, or if you're into watching movies, target your posts to those sorts of people too, because people relate to you if they share the interest in you. So if you're a mummy, obviously there's so many ways you can share Scentsy for the mum life. If you're sporty, there's so many ways you can share Scentsy for going to the gym and washing your gym clothes and all that kind of stuff. And then even if you're into watching movies, you can share what favorite wax you like to unwind to, what kind of warmer sets the mood in your home when you're watching a movie, and what makes you feel relaxed and chilled. So have an audience in mind when you're doing your posts. Am I out of time? Have an audience in mind when you're doing your posts, because then those people that you're actually writing to. So when I know someone's interested in a product, when I know I've had a conversation with someone and they're interested in a product, I'll write a post aimed just at them, because I think that'll be the thing that will make, if I aim that post just at them, obviously I don't write their name, I don't say this is just for you. I actually write a post that I know that they'll connect with, and then that's how I build that connection with that person. So it's all about choosing your audience and making sure your posts have a target audience. That's so important. Don't try and write your post to everybody. Try and write them to your target audience. And then another thing I've done is, just check there was nothing else on there I wanted to say. But another thing I've done is, obviously a lot of people struggle on what to post, and we really want to drill it into you about sharing, not selling. So I've written, and I'll share this document with everybody, I've written 50 ideas to share, not sell on social media. So 50 ideas of posts. So there's at least one a day there for you to implement into your business, and they're all, every single one is sharing Scentsy. They're all Scentsy related. They're not personal or anything else related. They're literally product related, but they're all about sharing Scentsy, not selling, every single one of them. So I'm going to share that with you guys to give you some ideas and inspiration about how to do that too, and how to show how you use Scentsy in your life. Yeah, that's me done.
Wow, you were quick.
I was trying, I was racing. Well, I think I was a bit stressed because people I know are waiting to come in. I'm like, oh.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, do you guys mind if I go next?
No, go for it.
Just because I'm outside the dentist office waiting for my fiance to get finished. So anyway, so I wanted to talk about how kind of I built my business and how I've kind of changed over time. But when I first joined 11 years ago when Facebook wasn't even around. So, and I feel like the old grandma or, your parents are like, I walked to school back in the day and, I don't need to drive you. But I actually did not start my business on Facebook at all. There was no social media back then. And so I did it the old school way. So I built my business, started with events and then my follow-up. So my follow-ups have always been in place ever since back then. But I don't want to kind of talk about those little things that I did over time, but I kind of want to talk about how I have kind of brought in the social media over time, and how I just remember Megan Clements saying to me, Carla, take more pictures. And we would go to events and I would take no pictures. I would do team things and I would take no pictures. There was nothing that if you go back years and years and years on my Facebook, when Facebook began, you will find nothing. For years. And it probably wasn't until about 3 or 4 years ago where I decided to change my focus. I was already good with events. I have an external website, though, so that's one of my main focuses that I had done prior, where I still kind of do now. Free ads everywhere. I did sponsored posts, and I still do sponsored posts. And I never actually did sales with my friends and family. So those are two things, you know, when you first come into the business and they're like, oh, your friends and family are going to help you. I actually never started there because I didn't have anybody that was going to help me start there. Because first of all, I lived 3,000 kilometers away from anybody who would support me. And I don't have very many friends. So I had to go and do something different, which was events. I then had to become calculated of how I was going to keep these people in my business. And so that's where the follow-ups came up. Get out of my comfort zone and make sure I was contacting them over and over and over and over and keeping them in my business. And so over time, about 3 or 4 years ago, I decided to listen to Megan and say, okay, you know what, I'm actually going to work really hard for the next year and work on social media and see how it works. And to my absolute amazement, it worked 100%. And so one of the things, and this is, I want to kind of give you guys homework, and this is one thing that you have to do today, and you need to take your time to do it, and is to fix your personal Facebook. Fix what you're doing on your personal Facebook. Where before, I always thought to myself, I don't want to post anything on my personal Facebook because I personally really don't want my old high school people, friends to know what I'm doing. I just wasn't really the out there type of person to post stuff on my Facebook. I didn't want to be spammy and all this. And so, like Tam said, we want to make sure that you understand. We want you to share and not sell. So 0 flyers whatsoever on your personal Facebook page. Try and don't do that. Don't put any flyers on your personal Facebook. But what I did 3 or 4 years ago was I made sure I posted every single day. And it wasn't all Scentsy. It was actually everything. I actually started it when I took my kids to Japan. So every single day that we were in Japan, I took photos and I did a big long write-up, and I would post it to Facebook. I got huge traction because people wanted to watch me on my travels as we were there for like 5 days. And so that's where my social media began. I started getting this huge following just because of my trip. And then when I came back, I kept it going. So I would post family things. I would post Scentsy things. When I would go to events, I would make sure I take pictures. If you are having a get together with your teammates at your house, or you're going out for dinner or lunch, you take a picture and post those things. So I started becoming calculating. I don't necessarily target like how Tam does. I work my timeline because I want interaction. So I work it more as an interactive type thing. So I will post about my life. I used to, like a year ago, when I first got my puppy, I would post my puppy every single day, and my dog got lots of followers. So just like over time, it was just a lot of people coming to my Facebook. But I do have a lot of team members, brand new team members, that tell me all the time that they're just not getting any sales anywhere on Facebook, or the social media is not working for them. And so the very first thing that I do when somebody comes to me and says that is I immediately go to their timeline. So I want you to make sure that you look at my timeline. I want you to make sure you look at Tam's, and I want you to look at Lisa's and Ashley's. All four of us work on Facebook in a way that we look trusting. When you look at our Facebook, like our regular Facebook, we each look trusting. And so when my team member comes to me and says they're not getting anything happening from social media, it all comes down to what's happening on their own Facebook page, on their own personal Facebook. Okay? So when you are jump on my Facebook page, you will see that I'm an instant consultant. You will see my website right there. You will see an image of Sensi. You will scroll down a little bit and you'll see that I'm a leader in some way in the company. And when you scroll through my page, you can actually tell that I am a consultant, right? And so what I try and do there is make sure that if I am referred by somebody says, like someone tags me on social media at all, that when that person who was looking for a Sensi consultant, someone tags them, they come back to my timeline, they're going to immediately see that I'm a consultant. I'm not selling anything technically on my timeline. It's a lot of sharing my personal life and what I'm doing with Sensi and all that. And so what I want you to understand is I want you to look at your timeline or at your personal Facebook, and I want you to look at it with honest eyes and see, would somebody purchase from you by what is on your Facebook right now? And so if you are tagged on Facebook, the very first thing that person does, or if your name is referred by somebody, and let's just say Tam is my customer, and she says, yeah, contact Carla Hunter, she's on Facebook. And so someone types in Carla Hunter, they're going to go look at my Facebook. They're immediately going to see me as a consultant, and then I'm trusting. People are not going to buy from you if you're negative on Facebook. They're not going to buy from you if you don't even look like you're a consultant. They're actually going to, and you know it yourself. If you are on a buy and sell page and you see someone selling something, you immediately go and search them on Facebook. You click on their name, you look at their Facebook, right? You immediately click on them to go look at their Facebook. And then that is when you decide, are they trusting? Can I buy this table from this person and I'm going to get the table? Like, you are looking at them. You are, what's the word I'm trying to come up with here? Like, you are investigating them to see if they're a good enough person for you to buy from them. And that is exactly when you are tagged anywhere on Facebook. If someone is referring you, you have to make sure that your personal Facebook is up to par so that they can trust you to buy from you. Because I'll tell you right now, if someone says contact Tam and Tam doesn't have her website address there, I don't see any posts of any Sensi back till December 2019, why would I buy from her? She doesn't even look like she's active. Like, I will rather find somebody else who is actually active in their business. So consistency, even though you're not getting any sales on your timeline or your personal Facebook, even if you're not getting sales, you have to show consistency. You have to show consistency. And it's technically, you're not out there looking for sales. What you're doing is you're looking for someone to comment. You want the interaction. So that's why you share rather than sell, right? And so when you share this beautiful image of a beautiful warmer turned on that somebody else posted, like Tam could take the photo. I'm just saying Tam because I see her in my little square thing. If Tam took a beautiful photo of the warmer that sits on her kitchen counter and I take that and go use it, that's great because it's showing how you are using or the beauty of the warmer even though you don't have it on hand. So anyway, so the very first thing I want you guys to do is I want you to make sure that you are looking at your own personal Facebook and deciding if it's
Whose
good enough
Facebook
for
did
you
you
to
say check?
purchase from. Pardon?
Whose Facebook did you say to go and have a look at?
Well, you can look at any of ours. There's me, Tam, Lisa, and Ashley, the 4 of us on here. Tam Richards, Lisa Allwood, Carla Hunter, Ashley McDonald. We all have Facebook.
Okay. I haven't got.
And so, but what you're looking at is you want to look at yourself as, would I buy from you? And I think that's where everybody needs to start. If you really want to start social media and start working it hard and understanding how it works, that's where you need to start, because people are going to start investigating you when you're tagged. Honestly, they're going to want to look at you and see if you're trusting. So when you look at mine, you'll notice that, first of all, I'm a consultant. You'll see that I love it. I look trusting. I have family posts. I post about my cat. I post about my dog. I post stuff that will get comments. I post about my travels. I post about my team trainings. I make sure I tag my team members when they do well. Like, recognition that you're giving your team is really great to do on your timeline as well. So that's, so I just find, for me, I do it a little bit different than everybody else. I do it in a way that I want to get more comments and interaction. And you'll notice I don't post any flyers or a lot of actually Scentsy stuff. But recognition, and when you're receiving recognition or getting recognition, those are great things to post. Now, I'm that type of person where I hate spam. I hate being spammy, and I don't want to be spammy at all. And so the difference between your personal Facebook, a page and a group, I just want to quickly talk to you about that. So your personal Facebook page is, when you click on your name, that's where you are. That is used to find all your new customers. That's where you're going to find everybody new, the people that you know. So the people that you know that are in your circle should be friends with you on Facebook. This is why you want to work there, because you are going to find people, brand new customers, from those circle of people that you're adding as friends on Facebook. Okay, a page. So a Facebook page is a place where you will find brand new people that you don't know. So hopefully that makes sense. So a page and a group on Facebook are usually used in different ways. A page, I use it for finding brand new people who I've never met. And so my title on my Facebook page is Carla Hunter, Independent Scentsy Consultant, Beaumont, which is, I put the title of my town in my name, because when you're on Facebook and someone types in Scentsy Beaumont, what do you want to pop up? I want me to pop up. So that's why I always put my town name inside my name of my page. And that is how I find probably about 1 or 2 brand new people every single month that I've never even been in contact with. I will find them through my page. And on there, you'll notice, like, you can even go look at my page now. It's Carla Hunter, Independent Scentsy Consultant, Beaumont. And when you look at it, you'll notice I don't post every single day, but this is where I post the majority of my Scentsy images and all that. But this is where I find brand new people that I don't know to come into my business. And so technically, I should be taking those and putting it on my timeline, because the things that I am posting are not flyers on there. Things that I'm posting are beautiful images of warmers that people may want. I technically should be taking those images and placing them on my timeline. That would be the best place for me to put them. Oh, you don't look very good. Just give me a second. I just lost my train of thought. His face is like out to here. Okay.
I want to see. Oh.
he got 5 teeth removed today. So.
Oh. Ouch.
Oh, gross. Get out of here. Okay, so he just showed me his teeth. Get it?
Oh.
So disgusting. No. Get. Okay, so page is where you're going to find brand new people that you don't know, and they just kind of come in whenever because they usually live in your town, because they're going to type in Sensi Beaumont and you're going to pop up on Facebook. So that's usually, because when you use a search bar now, everyone uses a Facebook search bar, right? Instead of Google. So usually they search on Facebook now instead of Google. So a group is treated differently. So a group, a VIP group, which is, I don't have a VIP group. So I just want to put that out there, that you don't have to have one. Everybody works their businesses differently. I only work on my personal Facebook page and my business page on Facebook. Those are literally the only two places that I actually do work. But a VIP group is where you're going to put in your very best customers. This isn't where you're going to put your 300 friends that you have that have never purchased from you before. This is where you're going to place in your customers that are purchasing from you. Placing 300 people in a group that haven't been purchasing from you isn't going to do anything for your business. It's just going to give you more stress because you're like, they're not buying from me. Well, they're not buying from you because you just threw them into a group and you don't even know if they want to be in there. So anyway, that is kind of just what I wanted to do a rundown about. I definitely make sure that you work on your timeline. Don't think that you're being spammy on it. There are different ways that you can not be spammy. You can take my posts and recreate them for yourself if you want to. You can, and that's what a lot of us leaders, you know, you can follow us, and then if you like a post, you can kind of rewrite it or something for your own, and just kind of copy as we go, I guess. But I honestly think that your personal Facebook is super important to start, because that's where people are going to begin to want to trust you, like you, befriend you, and purchase from you.
Know, like, trust.
Yes, exactly.
3 keys. Am I going next? Yeah, no?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you done, Carla?
Are you done? Are you good, Carla?
She just...
She never does a half hour either, by the way.
She's muted, I know. Well, she was 15 minutes, but she's more like 3 hours.
Right, guys, so I'm going to go next, and I'm going to talk to you a bit about Instagram. Some of you might have heard some of this before. Some of you, this might be new to you, and hopefully this is going to be something that's going to be useful for you. So during lockdown, I decided that my business needed to go to the next level. I've got a really good, I work my business in different places. So I've got a business page, which has got lots of followers on there, but I don't use it enough. I'll be completely honest with that. I've always had an Instagram page, but I had one that was set up that was a personal one, and I had one that was a Sensi one. I'll come back to that in a minute. And then I also have a VIP customer group, and I do most of my sales are in my VIP customer group, or when I'm messaging my customers. So that's where mainly I work. But I decided in lockdown I wanted to step it up, and I did a little bit of research, and I've got my eldest is nearly, he'll be coming up 13, and he was like, Mum, no one uses Facebook anymore. You need to learn how to use Instagram. And I was like, okay. So I had a little bit of knowledge about Instagram, but I didn't know a lot about it. So I literally made it my mission to watch as many videos as I could, do as much self-development. I literally went on blogs, I went on forums, and I did a little bit of reading. And I started to change the way I was working on my Instagram platform. And I can honestly say it's opened huge doors for me. Since March, I think I've had 10 recruits that have come directly from Instagram. Some that know me, some that don't know me. And I'm going to talk to you about how I use that in terms of for recruitment. And my sales is just starting to increase now. The recruits come first before the actual sales. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I did and about what I do. So, okay. So first of all, Instagram has, when I hear people say, oh, there's so many Sensi consultants in the world, I did a little bit of research into how many people there are that use Instagram. There are to date 1 billion users that are using Instagram, which means to date that is there is a possibility of nearly 1 billion people that you can connect with in some way, shape or form about Sensi. So think about it that way. So many people are using it. It is a huge platform. So if you haven't got an Instagram page, then this is this is something that I want you to start thinking about. And if you do use Instagram as a personal platform, I would be looking at combining the two. I wouldn't have it separate. And this is sort of where, along the lines that Carla was going with the personal Facebook page as well, this is sort of going to link, and hopefully this will sort of join together and it'll make sense. So in terms of my Instagram, I decided to combine. So I've just got one Instagram now. I just have, I can't even remember what it's called off the top of my head. How bad is that? Lisa Allward. And then I have home in my Instagram name, purely because I don't have Scentsy in it. I don't have my business name in it, because ideally, we are home fragrance. We're all about things that are within the home. That's the market we want to try and head towards. So that's where I come up with that, and it's simple, it's easy for people to remember. They remember my name, ideally. That's the whole connection. So that's why I got my name in there. Let's talk about Instagram in terms of being shallow. Instagram is really shallow. So believe it or not, people make a decision within 10 to 15 seconds whether they're going to follow your Instagram account. So if they click onto, say for example, you post a picture on your Instagram, hopefully it's going to be not going to be a private page, it's going to be a public page, because if it's a public Instagram page, your pictures go onto the public reel that gets put on Instagram, which is where you're likely to pick up new followers. A lot of people go wrong there and they put their Instagram so it's closed, and then what happens is only the people that follow you can see your pictures. And I've actually got to then go and like your or follow your page, and for it to become unprivate, for me to actually be able to see what you're posting. So your Instagram ideally needs to be a public profile, which I know is quite frightening sometimes, thinking, oh, do I want that all for public? Do I want all these people to be able to see it? But yes, you do. If you want new customers and you want new business, you need to make it public so people can see. The next thing you need to obviously think about is what you're posting. Now, Tam made a really good point at the beginning, which is something that I say to everybody that's starting off with Instagram or Facebook is, I normally say, I want you to think about 5 things that are relatable to you, 5 things that you're going to post about that are going to go in your squares. Your squares on your Instagram are realistically what's going to draw people in. And then I use my stories where I do my sales and my polls and my recruits. They naturally are coming from my stories as opposed to what is necessarily in my squares. The squares are drawing people in. Okay, your squares are going to be what people go, yeah, I want to follow that person. As I said, it's shallow, really, really shallow. I want you to think about what's going to make you stop. What's going to make you stop and go, right, I want to follow that person. Oh my God, they've just posted a picture of their manky toenail. Am I going to follow that person? No, I'm not. Okay. If they post a picture of how they're using a warmer within their house, I'm probably going to follow that person. Whereas if I see a stock image that's come from the workstation, really sorry, Scentsy, we love our pictures from the workstation, but I'm not going to follow that. That's a flyer. I want to see it actually within your house. I want to see how you're using Scentsy. I want to see how you're using Counterclean. I want to see how you're using washer whiffs. But I also want to see other things. I want to see, for example, as Carla was saying, getting to know your family, getting to know one of those 5 things. So let me talk about my 5 things that I post about are me going to the gym. I talk about my dog, my kids, Scentsy obviously goes in there. And what else? I wrote them all down. Generally, healthy food slips into my Instagram quite a lot. And they're the things that make my Instagram page, if you like. They're the things that are drawing people in. They're the attraction. This is what we call attraction marketing. So these are the things that I'm hoping are going to draw people in. And what I do, and I am a little bit shallow like this, but I put a filter on everything. So everything has exactly the same filter on it. So that every picture, when you go to my Instagram, it looks like it's got continuity and it's got consistency. So I do that. I make sure that everything has the same filter. Every picture. I use an app called Lightroom, and it's Adobe. I think it's free to download. You can get presets on Etsy for about £5 or possibly about $3 or $4, maybe less. Trying to cater to all here. You can get really good filters on there. So have a little scroll through, have a little look. But I literally put filters on all my pictures. But you can also do that with Instagram filters. If you use the same Instagram filter over and over again, you'll get the same actual look to all your pictures. So everything has a similar look. What I also do, I generally go for the rule that I will go with 80-20. So for example, 80% of what I'm posting is lifestyle. It's going to be me, what I'm doing with my kids, me where I'm going out with the girls for breakfast, or if I'm going to the gym, I post one of those fitness selfies in the gym. That's me. And then that 5th picture is, for example, a warmer in my home, or the washer whiffs that I'm using, and that's where I'm drawing people in. So hopefully they're not just looking at it going, oh, that page is just all sensey. I don't want to follow that. But actually they're being influenced by other things that we're doing and other things that they're seeing. So that works really well. It's a public platform. That attraction marketing, drawing people into, you, and they getting to know you. They're getting to trust you. They're getting to build a relationship with you. So that's me branding myself. That's how I branded myself. It's pick those 5 things. Now, if you don't know what the 5 things are about you, ask on your Facebook, ask in your customer group, or ask on your personal profile and say, look, tell me 5 things that you associate with me, whether it be, and people will soon tell you. Ask them to actually say things rather than like things about you, like your personality. Because I think I did this and people were going, oh, you're really lovely, you're really genuine. And I was like, no, I actually want you to comment on things that are generally about me, that you would associate me with. Obviously, Sensei came up a hell of a lot. The kids came up a lot. And that's where these things come from, these attraction marketing. So I use those. Then what I sort of discovered was I did a little bit of work on stories, and this is really what draws people in. And this is where I started to gain more followers from. So on my stories, if you don't know how to do stories, you need to go away and Google how to do an Instagram story or a Facebook story. And I will just add, my Instagram, as I'm sure yours is, Tam, as well, is linked to Facebook. So you can go into your settings and link the 2 so that you don't have to repeat yourself twice. It actually does it for you. So your Instagram then automatically will post to your Facebook story. Your Instagram even will post to your public page or your business page if you would rather it go to your business page. And that's something that I think saves me a hell of a lot of time. So I'm not posting on multiple platforms, because that is quite time consuming, isn't it? So in terms of your stories, what sort of things do I post on there? Is exactly this. These are like the things that don't quite make the squares, I call them. So for example, me doing a video on how I'm using washer whiffs. So as I'm putting my laundry in, I'm literally using the washer whiffs, talking them through it. I might put music over the top of it, put the little GIFs on it, and make it interesting. It draws people in. You can actually see at the bottom the amount of people that are viewing your stories. And I often look at this, I don't know why, I think it's just something I've started doing, is how many you can look at in your insights, how many people actually watch all of your stories from start to finish, or whether they might get to say your second story and swipe on past. So you can actually look at that in your insights, which is interesting, because if people are swiping on past to the next one, it means they're not getting to the end of your stories, which means they're not engaged. So it means that you've got to sort of look at, right, I need to change what I'm doing, look at that interaction and that engagement. So I post all sorts on there. I post when the kids are at football, for example, we go to the park, all the stuff that you don't necessarily want to be in all of your squares, so that you're posting maybe 20 times a day, but you can post as much as you like in your Insta stories. And then again, it goes onto your Facebook story. One of the things that probably changed my business the most in terms of getting more interaction and more sales and more recruits was I started to use polls, and I absolutely love them. I use them so much. So for example, I might put a picture up of me on one of the incentive trips, and I would put up like a poll that says, would you ever consider joining Sensei? Is this something that you might want to do? Like, would you like to travel? Now, top tip, I got this from another SSD, and she said to me, make sure you always put 2 positives in your poll. So if you're ever going to put up a poll, you don't ever say, for example, yes, I would love to, no, I'm not interested. You don't ever give them the option to say no. So for me, I always would put, yes, I'm interested, or please send me the details. So you're giving them 2 positives. Now, quite often, I have found that people will click on my poll by accident. You can go back into your poll and message everybody that clicks on them. I will just pre-warn you, you might get some strange clicks on your Insta stories. Pre-warning, I won't talk about some of the interesting ones that I've seen. You can ask me that behind when it's not on a live Zoom call, but you might get some interesting clicks on your polls. Just be prepared, because obviously it's public for all to see, and this is how a lot of other people are trying to get you to go and join their page, to go and follow their Instagram page, believe it or not. But every so often you will get a genuine one that genuinely wants information or generally wants to join your team. You can inbox them, and I inbox every single one of them, and I say, oh my God, you've clicked yes. Did you want some information about joining, or did you want to buy that bar? Sometimes people will say to me, oh no, sorry, I clicked by mistake. And I go, oh my God, I was really excited, thinking how amazing you were going to join my team. We're planting that seed every single time. If they click yes again, I message them and go, oh my God, you've changed your mind. You want to join my team? And they're like, oh no, I clicked it by mistake. But straight away, we're building engagement. You're building relationships with people. Quite often they will say, oh no, but actually I'd really like to order 6 bars. So we can turn it into a let's sell you Scentsy rather than if they don't want to join. So easy to downgrade the from a join offer to a sale, easy peasy. So that's something that I use a lot. So definitely look at your Insta stories. If you're not using them, they can literally change your business, especially make sure that they are linked to your Facebook as well. So Rosie's just asked, do I ever use the promote function? I do. I had probably 4 new joiners in lockdown. That was all through a sponsored ad post that I did on Instagram. So if you are doing sponsored ad posts, you can definitely do them by all means. You just need to make sure you get your demographics right. Otherwise they can be quite a waste of money. So you need to know what keywords you're putting in, this is probably getting a little bit technical, but you can literally Google and it tells you what to put in, where you want your demographic to go. Definitely I found ups your likes on a picture. So all of a sudden I had 400 likes on a picture as opposed to 60. And what I actually did was had sample packs at the ready. I inboxed nearly all of those people that liked the picture, said, thanks so much for liking my picture. I've got free samples. Would you like some free samples? And I had quite a lot that come back and said, yeah, I would. So definitely a sponsored posts do work. Every single person that likes a picture, if there's somebody new or or they comment on a picture or even they follow, and there's somebody brand new, the first thing I do, exactly as Kyla was just saying, is I go into their Instagram, I check out their Instagram. Have they got any relation to Scentsy? Because are they a Scentsy consultant? I get a lot of consultants that follow me. If they've got no relation to Scentsy whatsoever, there's no post, there's no, I'm an independent Scentsy consultant, what am I going to do? I'm going to build a relationship with them. I click on their pictures, I comment on their pictures, I like their pictures. This is the way Instagram wants you to be social. So for you to get more sales on Instagram, for you to boost your business on Instagram, you've got to become social on it. It means that you've got to work it. You've actually got to go to people's Instagram accounts and you've got to comment, you've got to chat, because the people aren't just going to come to you regardless of what you post. You've got to be a social user on Instagram for you to show up in their algorithms. It literally is as simple as that. I've just got a few more things and I will stop talking, I promise. Other things that really, really work well, so hashtags. You can look at trending hashtags, what's actually trending, and then you can try and meet your posts to go with them. So I had a hell of a load of new followers recently because I got some new gym bottoms. They were from a company called Women's Best, I think they were from, and I literally tagged them in them. And then I put hashtag, and I looked up what the most trending hashtag was for gym wear. And it was something like gym wear, I think it was. And I tagged hashtag gym wear in it. And my post got moved onto the hashtag gym wear hashtag. So if, for example, you then click hashtag gym wear and you click on that hashtag, my post comes up in that reel for all those people that might be looking for gym wear. So if somebody is looking for a new pair of gym bottoms, I come up in that reel. So they might click on my video, see my video, straight away I got a few new followers, I inbox them, thanks so much for the follow. Really, really simple. Thanks so much for the follow. But you don't always have to be posting Scentsy all the time to get followers, because there's not going to be that many people that are just looking to buy Scentsy on Instagram. Sometimes they're going to be looking for other things. You know, whether it might be, I don't know, you've gone to Sainsbury's and you've bought a mug, and you hashtag, you at Sainsbury's in your Insta story, or for example, I don't know, you bought a new calculator in a new shop and you post that on your story and you tag where you bought that particular piece of clothing or that item of, household, something that's in your house. That's ways of reaching out to new followers. So that is a way of being social. So obviously we have to be careful of what we're hashtagging, like in terms of making sure that we're not, you know, sharing loads of other network marketing brands. So just bear that in mind. Make sure you bear in mind the compliance rules when you are sharing stuff. Also be just mindful that you probably will get inboxes of whether you want to be like brand ambassadors. I get that all the time. It's not something that we can do if it means that you're earning money off the back of it. So just bear that in mind. Okay, once you get to a certain level, I think you can at certain levels. Okay, bear with me. I feel like I've literally bounced from thing to thing. Okay, in terms of what to post, you're looking for pretty images. You know, don't just post everything. Think about what you want to see. Really think about your imagery in terms of what you want, you would actually stop and look at. Make sure you interact with every person that comments, every person that likes. Interact with them. That's what Instagram wants you to do. Okay, I feel like I've talked quite a lot. Has anyone got any? If you got any questions about Instagram, pop them on there, and then I'll come back at the end. But I'll pass over to you, Ashley. I feel like I've spoke everyone's back legs off. So.
Well, I'm just wondering now where I should even start to follow up on those last three speakers. But today I want to talk a little bit about what works best for you and finding out what works best for you and your customers. So Carla had said we like to share a lot between leaders, and absolutely, if there's anything that I share, you're more than welcome just to copy, paste, whatever. Much like the flyers, like you want to stay away from those flyers, because creating an environment and a Facebook profile or Instagram profile that people can connect with you on a personal level rather than a business level, or not a business level, but a real world, creating a real world person, that's what people want to see. So by posting a flyer, I mean, you're just posting something off the marketing tab, but by using real photos, you're engaging that much more. So by changing the wording, like there's some things that I post that you might like, but you wouldn't say it like I would. So just be genuine in the fact that you change things around to make it work for you. Get creative when it comes to your post. I know there's some girls on my team now who I'm, kind of hoping that they go live with. Or hope that they do go live, and they're really, really nervous of it. So what I'm encouraging them to do is start by using the Instagram filters. If you want to go live and you don't feel comfortable actually going live right off the get-go, use some filters, whether it be on Instagram or Snapchat is another really good one, because you can make your voice change. You can make funny ears. You can I'm okay with making fun of myself, and I'm okay with making myself look foolish so that other people get a kick out of it and like laugh with me. So I'm totally okay with that. But the Instagram filters with the voices and the little ears, and coming up with little sayings that you can implement with maybe a product that you're using, and then posting online with those also. Do you guys have the NHL warmers being released to you?
No.
Okay. So I'm just going to use that as an example, and I'm sure that you guys can you can think of something that you had released that we didn't. So this is going to be a big thing for us. I mean, this is something that we've been asking about in Canada for quite some time. And I posted a photo of them, and I didn't get any responses really, and I'm like, whoa, what is happening? Why is this? And it was because it was a generic folder that I got off the generic picture that I got off the marketing tab, and I was like, this is not working. It doesn't make sense that something we have been asking for forever is not going. So what am I going to do? Am I going to go and say, well, you know what, I posted about it and nobody responded? If you connect with your customers, just because they don't post on your regular feed, whether it be Instagram or Facebook, does not mean that they're not interested in the item. Some people can be as stubborn as I am and think, well, if you can't reach out to me because I love Boston Bruins, if you can't reach out to me and say, hey, do you want to buy a Bruins warmer? I'm not going to comment just because I'm that friggin' stubborn. But if a consultant reaches out to me and say, hey, you know what? I know you're a big fan. And as soon as I seen this, I thought of you. What do you think? You're going to sell because you're making that connection with those people one-on-one. So if you post something on your regular page that you feel should get a lot of response and you don't give up over it. You need to think what works best for you and what works best for your customers. And that is not an easy thing to find out. It's really actually kind of difficult, because when Carla talked about the different types of pages, whether it's your personal page, your VIP page, or your business page, I really have a lot of the same people in all three of those groups, but it only seems like one of those groups is active at one time. So if my VIP page is active, that place is booming, but that means my business page, my personal page are kind of not really doing much. Then it will switch to my business page where the other two will kind of go, not really much happening there. And I can't figure out what the difference is between having those three groups and the same target customers. I don't know if they feel special because they're in the VIP group or there's less of them in there. It's something that I've yet to figure out. But if you're choosing one of those three groups and you're not finding that it's working specifically for you, please hop on over to another platform and try that too, because you might find something that works better for you and your customers in one that is not working in the other. And like I said, I can't tell you what it is, or else I wouldn't be where I am. When you post something and you want to inbox those people, so there was lots of people I sat, and sometimes you just have to stop and think, like, how can you make it work? So when it came down to those warmers, I made a list of people who I knew would be interested in those. I didn't inbox them all at once. I chose 5. And those 5 people, I built a relationship, not built a relationship with, I've already had it, but I built them up to make it, I'm making a personal connection with them. And I believe I have 16 warmers now pre-sold. And I'm going to say 2 of them may have been just them reaching out to me. A lot of that was back work that I did myself. If I didn't, go that extra step and make those connections, then somebody else would have got those sales. So it's really important not to message all of your people at once and all of them not the same thing. I work on Facebook a lot, and I like to create personal polls on my regular Facebook page, not my stories. I like to do it in my on my timeline. And the number one that I do is, will there be school tomorrow, when it comes to a storm? So we live in Atlantic Canada, and once the snow starts to fly, it seems like it doesn't stop for at least 14 months. So I like to put, will there be school tomorrow, and have people answer. I don't care. I homeschool my daughter. I don't care if there's public school tomorrow. But it's something that people come to my page to look for the answer for. Like, will there be school tomorrow? I don't know. Don't check the news. Go to Ashley's Facebook page. And that's something that I've just built over time, that actually this year when I started homeschooling, I stopped the school poll, and we were getting a hurricane, and people were coming to my Facebook page to find out if there was school tomorrow. And I was like, are you guys serious? Like, this is a real thing? So I've started them again. So if you do something foolish like this, people are engaged, and people will watch you even if you don't think that they are. I am providing a service. I should charge for that. That's extra. So you want to build your online audience with creating daily stories, because people will follow you, like I said, even when you think that they don't. And consistency is the other thing. You don't have to post about Scentsy every single day. Do I? Yes. There are times where I miss, 3-4 days. And I struggle a lot with myself. So there are days where I just shut out the world for 3 and 4 days, but I normally snap out of it pretty quick and bring myself back too. And when that happens, like I'm consistent in the way that I post. Like I said, it's not every day, but you cannot post the last week of the month and expect sales to happen. If you do not post on your Facebook, like Carla said, if you don't post, people are not going to buy from you. And it can't be the last week of the month and you say, holy shit, where am I going to get 500 PRV so I can get paid off my team? Post on Facebook or Instagram and expect your customers to respond to that. They're not going to. Why would they? If they see you work in your business for 4 or 5 days out of a month, do you think that's a good person? Not a good person to support, like, because I mean, of course it is. But when it comes down to being consistent with your business, and people will see that, you know, when Carla said, I want you to go and look at our 4 Facebooks, I immediately went on mine and was like, uh-oh, this is not going to be good, because I do post a lot of things that people, my mom says, Ashley, it's not appropriate, you have people watching you. But I like that because that makes me feel more real. I post a lot of what?
Ashley has built a business based on like being foolish, going live, doing stupid things. If you're friends with her during Christmas, she gets to go. Her husband's work party is funny as hell.
Oh my goodness, don't.
You get to witness her husband in no shirt partying at his work party, and she videos the whole thing. So like her friends have, like, her business is kind of incorporated as being super funny, but they know her and they know she's funny, and just her, you know what I mean? So like when you do look at her Facebook, she is silly, which is a part of her business. So I like following her just because she's funny.
Once I was cleaning my shower and I had my night dress on, and I'm a large chested woman, and after nursing, my boob came out of my armhole, like, so I was reaching up to clean the windows or my bathroom shower doors, and I was like, is that a nipple out there? So I like had to pretend that my Wi-Fi, like, oh, something happened, delete, and then like restarted it again, but with a bra on this time, and I totally just played it off like nothing happened. But I'm totally okay with that, because that's just how I roll, right? You just acknowledge it and be like, whoops, and then carry on. So yeah, I do get kind of silly, and I'm totally okay with that. But as of right now, I will tell you.
So you're telling everyone to go show the boobs, yeah?
My boobs? No.
Go
They'll come out.
Shower,
you know what? They come out on accident. That you never know when they're just going to show up. But as of right now, there is no Christmas party. So I just want to throw that out there. However, if I do have a lot of people wanting this, I can have my husband perform a live show. Oh, do you know what? I should sign him up for that. What's that thing on Instagram? Lisa, what's that thing on Instagram?
What thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, like that like the pervs use, that like the swipe up for like the live shows and stuff. What's that called?
What, like the dating app?
No. It's like
Tinder.
No, it's like just fans. That's it. Just fans.
Just fans, yeah. Get him a Just Fans account, Chad.
Yeah, I could sign him up for that. Right? That would be considered cross promotion, though, I'm sure. Anyways, so that's all I have for after, I guess, all the so the school posts, people posting about their dogs too. People love their pets.
Just put a warmer in the background. I'm sure it's, you know, you'd get custom that way, surely.
Yeah.
What is it?
Just put a warmer in the background.
Strategically put a warmer behind your husband.
Place it nicely.
Oh, you all get so much more creative than that. You guys have no idea. Like, no idea.
We need to see this now. You know that.
Wait, I'm so excited.
I think it's a thing.
Oh,
But it's real, isn't it? That's what it's all about. It's real. And that's, yeah. Tam, did you want to say something else? Because I know you said you was right.
I was just going to say one thing. I was going to say about building. So what we were talking about, the personal Facebook, is you don't just want your following to be a load of other Scentsy consultants, because you're not going to recruit them and they're not going to buy from you. So just be mindful that you, as much as obviously Scentsy is all about like family and all those things, but your intention is to get those followers to be new people who have the potential to be customers and new team members. That's one thing I would say is super duper important. And like Carla said, I was just going to stress about the building up that knowledge of know, like, and trust in you. And the one thing that I learned, and I found it really, really helpful, and I don't know why I didn't say this actually, but I found it really, really helpful. I learned it from a program I did, and it was about making sure all your posts meet the criteria of either engagement, entertainment, or education. So engaging, obviously getting people to interact with you, entertaining, for example, Ashley's husband dancing with no shirt on or what have you, or Ashley getting her doing her naked shower cleaning, sorry, educating, so perhaps you're offering recipe advice, or you know, something, as well as all your Scentsy stuff, building up that following of people for you as well, because that's what you want. You want them to follow you as a person, because that's how they're going to know, like, and trust you. And then that's when they're going to buy from you, because when you say to them, have you ever tried it? So you build up that relationship with them, and then they say to you, say to them, have you ever tried Scentsy before? And then that's when you go in with the opportunity, not straight away. You build up the relationship first, and getting by them knowing who you are and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's all I was going to say. Oh, I know that Ashley and Carla both spoke about the Facebook page. My Facebook page is kind of where I get all my website orders from, my PWS orders from. So it looks really boring when you look at my Facebook page, but I do get quite a lot from it. And I've had quite a lot of team members from there too, where I will, when I want, obviously we're talking about sales tonight, but when we're talking about team members, I've had quite a lot from there too. But if I post like the honey pot warmer, a great picture of it with a link to the honey pot warmer, I'll get PWS orders for the honey pot warmer. It's just getting that wording right, getting that wording, not like massive essays like I do on my VIP page, but much more like, for example, the honey pot, I was like, it's been out of stock twice, it's now in stock, grab yours quick. You know, when you're scrolling through, I'm a little bit salesy on my Facebook page, because you know when you're scrolling through and you see that Facebook, you see like an advert where they've got a problem story solution, and then you don't realize, but it's actually a targeted ad that's being targeted to you to click on and purchase the product. That's how I've kind of adopted that model. So look at the honey pot warmer, it's been out of stock twice, everyone went absolutely crazy for it, but you can grab yours right now, and here's the link. And then that's how I've kind of grabbed them and got them to go get PWS orders. So that's been really good for me. The Nova, so the out of stock, that's how you use it to your advantage.
I was going to say that. I've done that today with the blood orange spice, and said about how like it literally is flying off the shelves. And I think I've sold 6 off the back of it with that, and it was effortless. It literally had a one-liner like, oh my God, this is selling out so quick. This is going to go. I reckon this will be next. And boom. People want stuff that they can't get hold of. They want that limited edition, don't they? They want that. When they know it's going, they're like, oh, I need to get it quick. It's that herd mentality, isn't it?
And also, like what they were saying, 100%, that's what it is. That's what I've just done my clothesline. Like, it's been restocked, and I must have sold about 18 bars. But with what Carla was saying about having your town, sorry, I know we've gone way over time, but having your town in your title, I've had people search on Google Scentsy and my hometown, and I've appeared on Google, and I'm not paying for that. That's because of my Facebook page, because my Facebook page has come up suggested. And if you're sharing products, if somebody searches a product in Facebook, if you are being recognized by Facebook as an active page, they will, like some people might just search join Scentsy or in Facebook, or they might search illuminate warmer or whatever, and you might come up as a page if you're consistently using your Facebook page you might come up in the search, because I've had that a few times too. Like people who didn't even like my page have found me by search bar because I've been consistent. So I hope that's helped, because we've all thrown so many ideas at you, and it was our first Rockstar Academy, but yeah, I hope it's been good for everyone, and I hope you've all taken something and you've got a focus that you want. Obviously you can't implement every idea that you get, it's just choosing the few. This is something Carla taught me, and it's massively changed my business. Just choosing a few things that you want to focus on. So if it is your Instagram, if it is your Facebook page, if it is your personal profile, just focus on a few things, not everything.
I also really want you guys to, like, when you're looking at our profiles, to look at what each of us do. We are each doing something different. I'm not doing everything that they're doing because it's too much for me to handle in my brain. I do my business a certain way. Everybody does their business a certain way. So don't think that you have to do what all four of us are doing. If you do not want to focus on Instagram, you do not have to. If you know what I mean? So just take a few things, and the biggest thing is just be consistent. Keep doing it over and over and over, even though you're not getting any comments or anything like that. If you need extra help, reach out to one of us, and then we can help you maybe better your posts or give you extra ideas. So don't hesitate to do that at any point, because we would love to help you out more on social media.
And yeah, some of this will be shared. You're going to download.
We'll share someone's just asked about the link. I will share the, I've got it recorded now. As soon as it's recorded, it'll take might be tomorrow by the time it's recorded onto my laptop, and we'll go from there. And I'll share this too, the 50 ideas on how to share, not sell. So it's 50 ideas of posts on how to share, not sell on social media. Just sharing the products in a personal manner rather than a salesy manner.
I have one more thing that I'm gonna leave with you guys. This is before. Okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
Are you ready to see a preview?
Do I need to stop recording?
No, it's okay. They'll need to see it too.
It's not on Facebook.
Oh yes, we go Facebook Live for the whole thing.
The whole thing is Facebook Live.
Oh, it's fantastic. Okay,
Love
wait.
Facebook Live.
Oh wait. Okay, so this is at probably one of the most high-end locations in our area. And the whole night they had to remind him, excuse me, sir, you're going to have to put your shirt on, because it was highly frowned upon. And he's just pulling in the driveway now. So it's great that you guys are ending this, because if not, he'd be half naked in the living room.
Love that.
Oh, Ashley.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed it, and can't wait to
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I'm going to stop.